So we're going to do a nice slow bit of a stretching to start the session off. So we're going to go feet together, take the feet out into a little V, bring the heels out underneath the hips. We're going to slide your hand just down the side of your leg, and then we're going to come up and we're going to change sides. And then we're going to come up and change sides, and then come back up and change sides. So then this time, bring your hand up and over the head, all the way leaning to the side. Try and get this nice curving effect. Your hand, rather than it being above your head, is reaching over to the side, and then come up and change sides. Keep on going. We're going to go for another 5 more there. Make it nice and slow. Try and get that full reach to the side, all the way, and then back up and over and changing sides. So we're going to keep going all the way over to the side. We'll go for 3 more, up and over, 2 more, nice big reach, and then 1 more, and then back to the center. So we're going to go down to the floor, so we're going to go chin to chest, slowly down to the ground. Keep the legs nice and straight. Keep the chin tucked under. Let the arms just dangle down to the ground. Let your body do what it's designed to do. So we're going to stay there for a couple of seconds. You should feel a big stretch coming down the back of the legs, down the back of the bum and into the low back. We're going to hold it there. And then you're going to think about restacking your spine all the way back up into standing, each bone at a time. When you get to the top, hands are going to come in behind the back, and then we're going to lean backwards. And then we're going to come back down to the floor, chin to chest, slowly unwind the spine down to the ground. Same idea, go down as low as you feel able. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to restack the spine, come all the way back to standing, hands in behind the back, leaning backwards, nice big lean back. And then we're going to come back down to the floor last time. So come down to the ground. When you come down to the ground, bring both hands to the outside edge of one leg. Let the shoulders twist round towards that side. Keep the chin tucked under. Hold it there. And then come round and change sides. So all the way round to the other side. Keep the chin tucked under. Keep the legs nice and straight. Twisting round to the other side. Hold it there. And then bring the hands back between the feet, and then restack the spine up to standing, hands in behind the back, leaning backwards, hold it there. Keep the hands where they are, and then you're going to come up forwards. We're going to just lean down forwards, and then we're going to come up and lean back. So a little lean forwards, and then come up and lean back. We're going to go for 3 more. So lean forwards, lean back, 2 more, lean forwards, lean back, and then 1 more, lean forwards, and then lean backwards. Come back to standing, bring the hands out wide, out to shoulder height. We're going to take one hand so it's directly forwards, the other hand is going to point directly behind, and then we're going to switch hands, so the other hand comes forwards, and then just make it a nice smooth movement. Try not to pause, try and get that complete rotation. And we're going to go for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then come back to the center. We're going to go feet about shoulder width apart. Bring the hands out forwards. We're just going to sit down and then come back up. Try and keep the heels on the floor. Try not to let the knees come together. We want the knees over the big toes. And we're going to go for 5. Nice and slowly. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and then relax. So we're going to go down into kneeling. We're going to go down into a sort of proposing position, so as if you're about to propose to somebody. So we're going to go down into one knee down on the floor. You can put a wee pillow under the knee if you want to. The other knee is about 90 degrees. Hands are going to come onto the hips. Make sure that we're not leaning the bum backwards. We want that bum tucked under. hands on the hips, and then we're going to bring our knee beyond our toes. Keep the head and shoulders up nice and high, and we're going to hold that position. So you're almost letting the hips sink down to the ground. Try not to let the heel come up. Keep the heel down on the floor. We're going to hold that position. That's good. We're going to keep holding. Then we're going to bring one hand up to the ceiling and then bring the other hand up to the ceiling. We're going to reach those hands right up to the ceiling, getting a nice big reach. Keep the hips sank down to the floor. Hold that position. We're going to keep holding. You'll find a little bit of a challenge on the balance as well. Nice wee stretch for the front of the hip. And then we're going to take the hands down, bring the weight backwards. We're going to keep the feet where they are, and we're going to bring the opposite hand in line with the back of the heel. So we're going to go opposite hand in line with the back of the heel, and we're going to bring our shoulder towards our knee, and then the other hand is going to come up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to get that big rotation. You're going to look at your hand up at the ceiling, and we're going to hold that position. Try not to let the knee flare out to the side. We want to keep that knee squeezed towards the opposite shoulder. We're going to hold it there. Keep actively trying to twist around. We're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the center, take the weight off, and then we're going to change legs. So we're going to go back in to the other side, switching legs, back into our proposing position. Make sure the hips aren't leaning backwards. We want the hips tucked under, hands on hips. Bring your front knee beyond your toes, and then keep the head and shoulders upright. We're going to hold that position, letting the hips sink down to the floor. We're going to bring both hands up to the ceiling. Find your balance. Reach up to the ceiling. Hold that position. Keep on holding. Keep letting the hips sink down to the floor. We're going to hold it there. That's good. And then bring the hands down. Take the weight off. So we're going to repeat on the other side. So we're going to bring opposite hand down to the floor. It's about 6 inches away from the heel, and it's in line with the back of the heel. We're going to bring shoulder and knee together, and then we're going to bring the opposite hand up towards the ceiling, really trying to get the hand above the other hand. So we're twisting right round. Try to actively squeeze round into that position. Hold it there. Keep on holding. Keep looking at your hand up at the ceiling. We're going to hold it there for another couple of seconds. 3, and 2, and 1. Come back down. We're going to go down onto your hands and knees, and we're going to go into your cat-camel position. So hands directly under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to sag your belly button down to the floor and then lift the head, and then we're going to do the opposite movement. We're going to arch the back right up towards the ceiling, lifting the mid back up to the ceiling, tucking the chin under, and then doing the opposite again. So sagging down, lifting head, and then arching the back. And we're really going to think about exaggerating the movement, so trying to get that full arch, and then the full sag as well. So we're going to go for 5 of those. Make it a nice big arch, really trying to get that mid back right up to the ceiling, and then sagging back down. We're going to go 4 more, all the way. So we're taking our time with them. We're trying to get that exaggeration. Sometimes we do them a little faster. We're nice and slow today, getting that full movement, and then sagging down. So we'll go for 2 more, all the way arching up, and then sagging down. Last time, big arch up to the ceiling, and then sagging back down again. Bring the back to your neutral position. Bring your bum back to your ankles. Bring the elbows down to the floor. Bring the hands together, and then bring the head down towards the floor. Let your bum come all the way back to your ankles as far as you're able to go, and then hold that position. If you need to, you can stretch your wrists off as well at this point. So you can do your wrist circles or your wrist flexion extensions. So then we're going to come back up onto your hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to get your toes curled under, so toes are going to get curled under. We're going to go chin to chest, and we're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Get the hips nice and high as you feel able. Keep the legs as straight as possible, and then let the heels come down to the floor. You're going to squeeze the heels right down to the floor as far as you're able to. Keep the legs straight. Keep your chin tucked under. Your nose is trying to go towards your knees. And we're trying to lift your bum as high as possible. Hold that position for another 3 and 2 and then 1. Come back down to the floor. Bring your knees to the ground. And then go back down to your prayer position. So then in that nicely curled up prayer position, keep your bum where it is and then stretch the arms along the mat. Nice big stretch along the mat. Hold that position. And then you're going to bring one hand to the side of the mat and then the other hand on top. Shift your weight towards the opposite side. Keep your chin tucked under and then hold that position. So you're going to feel a big increased stretch down one side of the back. And then we're going to change sides, so bring the hands back to the center, bring the hands to the other side of the mat, bring the other hand on top, shift your weight towards the other side, keep the head tucked under, hold that position. And then bring the hands back to the center, come back up onto the hands and knees again. Get the toes curled under, get the chin tucked under. So we're going to do that same downward dog movement, lifting the hips right up towards the ceiling, keeping the legs nice and straight. In that position, you're going to bend one leg, keeping the toes where they are, lifting that heel. And then you're going to keep the straight leg nice and straight, letting that heel drop down into the floor. Then we're going to change sides. So we're going to straighten the other leg, bend the knee. And same idea, hold that for a couple of seconds. 3, 2, and then both legs are going to go straight. Let the heels drop down to the floor. Hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. Come down onto the knees, and then we're going to come down into sitting. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, hands onto the base of the toes, shimmy the bum nicely into the back of the heels, and we're going to pull down to the floor. So you're going to pull down to the ground, chin to chest, and we're going to hold that position. Try and actively pull down to the ground as well for the whole time. So you're actively pulling down to the ground. Hold it there. So we're going to go for the long holds in these ones. So in our sitting positions, we're going to go for about 30-second holds in each exercise. So nice and slow. With those 30-second holds, try to actively pull into each position as well. So we're going to keep holding another 10 seconds. And then we're going to relax off. You're going to take one leg straight with the foot onto the inside of the knee, and then both hands are going to come down towards your toes. So you can either grab your knee, and we're going to try and grab the knee and actively pull down towards as well. So you can either grab your knee, your calf, or your shin, or your ankle, or if you can get the hands to the toes, pull down, take your nose down towards your knee, and actively pull into that position for the whole time. So we're going to go hands down, go down, grab. Try and get both hands to the same position as well. Try not to let the knee pop up. So try not to let the knee pop up when we do it. We want that knee directly down on the floor, and then we pull down into that position. You're going to hold it, and we're going to go 30 seconds. If you start to find it a little bit too easy, take the hands further down the legs and go that little bit further. Keep holding. That's good. I'm going to go for another 10 seconds. Keep pulling. And then come up and we're going to change sides. So same idea again. Foot onto the inside of the knee. Both hands come down to the toes. Go down as low as you feel able. Same idea. Try and get both hands to the same position. So we're going to go both hands down. Hold that position all the way as low as you feel able. Trying to keep the back of the knee as straight as possible. Back of the knee on the floor. Going down. Hold it there. That's good. Same idea. If you find it too easy, just go that little bit lower down. Keep the nose down to the knees. The knee. Hold it there. 3, 2, and 1. Come back up. Both legs are going to go straight, and then both hands are going to come down towards the toes. So both legs straight, both hands down to the toes. Go down as low as you feel able again. Same idea, trying to get both hands to the same position on the leg. Hold it there. Take your nose to your knee. Try and actively pull into that position. We're going to hold for 30 seconds. So keep on holding. So another 10 seconds. Keep pulling. If you start to find it too easy, pull a little bit further into it. 3, 2, and 1. And then come up. So we're going to go legs as wide as possible. So legs as wide as possible. And then both hands coming down towards one foot. Same idea, trying to get both hands to the same position. So hands onto the knee, the shin, the ankle, nose to knee again. And same idea, nice big pull into that position, holding it there, actively pulling into it. I'm going to keep holding for 30 seconds. That's good. So 10 more seconds. Keep holding. And then coming up, we're going to change sides. Chin to chest, slowly down. So 10 more seconds. Again, keep going. Keep pulling into it. Nose to knees, legs nice and straight. And then come back up. Keep the legs as wide as possible. And then this time, we're going to lean down forwards. So you're leaning straight forwards, pulling yourself. You can imagine a big rope and you're trying to pull yourself forwards. So legs as wide as possible. And then both hands coming forwards, holding that position. Keep the legs nice and wide. Keep holding. Five and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Coming back up. So this time you've got a choice. So you can choose which stretch you do. So you've got both legs straight. You're going to bring one ankle up and over the knee. And then you can bring your hands onto the outside edge of the knee and pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder. Or you can bring your foot up and across, elbow onto the outside edge of the hand, and then hand comes down. So hand comes down to the floor and twist round. Or you can go into your pigeon pose, where you're on your hands and knees, foot comes in front of the knee, and then your back leg slides further behind. So you can either stay up on your hands, or you can go down to your elbows, or you can bring your head down to the floor. So you can go into pigeon pose, you can go into your full piriformis rotation, or you can just bring your knee and pull it towards the opposite side. So you can choose which one you do. I'm going to go for piriformis, the pigeon pose here. I'm going to hold it there. So we're going to keep holding. I'm going to hold for that 30 seconds again. It's the same idea. Keep trying to actively pull and twist into that movement. We're going to hold it there. So we're going to go for another 10 seconds. So then you can drop your hip to the ground. We can change sides. So if you're up and sitting, you're going to bring your ankle above, over your knee. You can bring your hands onto the outside edge and then pull it towards the opposite shoulder. You can bring your opposite elbow onto the outside, hand down to the floor, and then we twist around towards that side. Or you can come onto your hands and knees, bring your ankle in front of your knee, slide your back leg behind, and we can go into our pigeon pose. So you can choose which one you do. We're going to hold it there for 30 seconds. If you're twisting round, try to actively twist round for the whole movement. If you're pulling your knee to the opposite shoulder, try to actively pull it round. And if you're in the pigeon pose, we can't really actively do anything, so we just lie here. That's the easiest one, to be honest. Let's be fair. So we're going to keep holding. So we'll go for another 10 seconds. And 1, and then if you're in pigeon, just slide out, and then we're going to go down onto your backs. So we're going to lie down onto the back, pillow just underneath the head. Both knees are going to pull up towards the chest. Pull the knees up to the chest nice and tight so that the base of your bum, so the tailbone comes up and off the floor. So we're pulling the knees in nice and tight so that the base of your back, the base of your bum comes up and off the floor, so your tailbone comes up. We're going to hold that position. We're going to hold it there for 30 seconds. So if you are in this position, you can relax. Try and let the breathing just go relaxed. You can close your eyes if you want to. So we're going to keep one knee hugged in. We're going to let the other leg go straight out. So with the straight leg, we're going to squeeze the back of the knee on the floor. With your hugged knee, we're going to hug it up towards the chest, and then you're going to pull it towards your opposite shoulder. So we're going to pull it towards the opposite shoulder, keeping that straight leg as straight as possible so that the back of the knee stays on the floor. We're going to pull it across that knee hugged one, and we're going to hold that position. Ten more seconds. And then we're going to switch legs so we can let the leg go out. Bring the other knee hugged in. Hug it in, pull it towards the opposite shoulder. With your straight leg, squeeze the back of your knee down onto the floor, and then hold that position. 30-second hold. And then we're going to let the soles of the feet down on the floor. Arms are going to go out wide. Keep the knees and ankles together, and we're going to drop both knees out to one side. Keep the back of the shoulders on the floor. And then with our head, we're going to take the head and just roll it so it looks in the opposite direction. So I've taken my knees out to my left side. I'm just going to roll my head and look towards my right side. We're just going to hold it there. We're going to go for 30 seconds again. You're trying to get the outside edge of your knee down to the floor, so your outside edge onto the floor as much as you're able to. And then we're going to bring the knees up and change sides. So we're going to bring the knees all the way around. So we want the outside edge of the knee down onto the floor as much as you're able to without bringing this shoulder up. So we want to keep the back of the shoulders on the floor for the whole movement. And then we're going to slide the head and just look at the opposite side from where the knees went. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to bring the knees back to the center. Keep the arms nicely stretched out. We're going to straighten both legs out along the mat. We're going to bring one knee up and over the hip. We're going to bring that knee up and over to the other side. So we're going to bring one knee up, bring that knee up and over to the other side. And then your hand is going to come onto the outside edge of the knee. The aim is to try and take that knee as low down towards the floor as possible without lifting the shoulder up. So we want to keep both shoulders on the floor while we add on that big rotation. The other leg is straight. Same idea with the head. We're going to roll the head to the other side. We're going to hold that. We're going to actively add on pressure through the hand for that whole movement. So we're actively pushing down through the hand onto the floor. We're going to hold it there onto the knee. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Nice big rotation. Keep on going. Keep adding pressure, 5 more seconds. And then come back to the center. So we're going to go soles of the feet down on the floor. We're going to bring one ankle up onto the knee. Hands either side of the thigh that the ankle is on. So I'm going to bring my right ankle onto my left knee. Hands are going to go in behind my left thigh. And then I'm going to pull that thigh up towards you. And I'm trying to take my nose up towards my toes. We're going to hold that position. We're going to pull it in, so actively pull it in for that whole movement. You can lift your head or you can keep the head onto the floor, whatever suits your neck. We're going to hold that position. Keep actively pulling. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 3 and 2 and 1. Let the leg go down. Soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to change side. So bring the other ankle up onto the knee. Hands either side of the thigh. Pull that thigh up towards you. Same idea. Nose to toes. Hold it there. If you find that's too much for your neck, you can let the head come down on the floor. So pull it in. Keep actively pulling. Hold that position. So we're going to go 5 seconds, 2 and 1. Let the legs come down. We're going to roll onto your stomach. So all the way onto the bellies. If you prop yourself up onto your elbows, palm of the hands face down, just lift the head and then look at the wall opposite. We're just going to stretch off the mid-back just to start off with here. So we've not too many stretches now to do, so we're going to lift the head, look at the wall opposite, hold that position. Keep holding it. And then we're going to let the head come down onto the floor. We're going to bring the hands to start off with just underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to push up through the hands as far as you feel able. Some people find that dead easy. Some people find that very, very difficult. If you can lock the elbows out, then we'll try and lock the elbows. If you find that too much, then push as much as you're able to. Make sure the shoulders are down. Make sure you're not shrugging the shoulders up to the ears. Lift the head, look at the wall opposite and hold that position. We're going to hold it there for another 10 seconds. So keep pushing as much as you're able to. Keep going. Try and let the breathing go as gentle as possible. It's sort of hard when you're in this position. And then come back down so that the head comes onto the floor. So slide the hands up the mat by about a hand's length. So the hands should now be in line with the ears. And then we're going to do that same movement again. We're going to push up through the hands. Same idea. If you can lock the elbows out, that's the goal. And we're going to just make sure the shoulders are staying relaxed. Lifting the head, looking at the wall opposite. Hold that position as much as you're able to. We're going to go for another 10 seconds. Again, try not to hold your breath. Let the breathing go gentle. 3, 2, and 1. And then come back down. So same idea, slide the hands up the mat, another hand's length. And we're going to do that same movement. We're going to push up through the hands. Try and get the arms as straight as possible. And we're going to hold that position. We're going to keep holding for 10 seconds. And then come back down. So you can bring the hands under the shoulders or in line with the ears or in line with the top of the mat. So you can choose for your final one at which point you put your hands, and then we're going to push up again through the hands, go up as high as you feel able. Keep the shoulders down, head looking at the opposite wall. Hold it there. We're going to hold it there for 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Come back down. We're going to push up through the hands onto your hands and knees. Final stretch of the session. So we're going to bring your bum as far back towards the ankles as possible. Bring the hands together. Bring the head down to the floor. Bring the elbows onto the floor. Bring your bum back. We're going to finish in this position. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Really nice stretch just to finish up on. So we're going to hold it there. Try and let the breathing just go gentle. So then you can walk the hands in, go up into kneeling, and there we have it. So I love that stretching routine. I absolutely love it. Really nice wee session, 35 minutes, stretch of the whole body. So really well done. If you're heading on, nice to see you.